We are back for our final segment on Grizzly Connect this week. Bryant Johnson with Anthony Damico, the ASC men's lacrosse team. He's a sophomore. We chatted with him last year, and he had a productive year, 4 goals, but really it was such a period of learning for a team that won 1 game. But through 8 games this year, you're 4-4. You have 8 goals, but amongst those who are in the neighborhood of 8 to 11 goals, you have the second highest shooting percentage right now at 40%. To make that big of a leap in 1 to 2 years, how have you done it?
Oh, wow. It's a lot of practice for sure, and it's also putting a lot of responsibility on top of our shoulders. And now being sophomores, we're the leaders of the team with a lot of freshmen. You just got to come in strong, get the job done.
It's such an unenviable position to be in when you're expected to be a huge leader as a sophomore. And Coach Lamb, before he left to Notre Dame, he said it's often the 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Sometimes with these guys, they do great things that are like leaders, but make a mistake or whatever off the field, and it comes back to get them. So when you look at how you've grown as a leader the last year, what have been the biggest strides?
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of the strides definitely coming with the goals I'm getting this year. That's definitely a huge help. But also I like getting a lot of assists. I like trying to get points just for the team. I feel like that's a huge part. And then also, just trying to direct the freshmen. I feel like that's a big, another huge part of this team because, they don't know what they're exactly doing. And then trying to carry over what Lamb taught us last year. And, just trying to get them in the right spots and do what they're supposed to do.
What's the biggest difference between a class of freshmen in 2012, first class of freshmen last year that you were part of?
Well, last year we didn't have a big roster, so that was tough to play a lot. And but yeah, we also have a lot of new kids this year, like I said, and a lot of freshmen. But they're definitely stepping up this year. And like I said, we're 4-4, so they're making a pretty big impact on this team right now.
It's Anthony Damico with the ASC men's lacrosse team. You mentioned the depth issue, and it's funny because Coach McCreary made that comment right before the game against Notre Dame. Dana Muir, he said, "This is a great opportunity for us to use the depth we didn't have last year against a team that we feel is thin." It was a great example because it's exactly what happened in that game where you saw more guys play. What is something that really stands out when you have a game like that? Notre Dame's traveling a huge distance; they're a little more thin, and you actually have the resources to play a lot of guys.
Well, it was huge. Going into that game, obviously we have depth on our side, so obviously we were able to run them into the ground, which helped us a lot, especially with the altitude and everything. And yeah, like I said, they're thin, and we really just ran them to the ground.
Camera's right there. Give me the common face you saw on the look of those penguins, those Dominican penguins. Horn sounds. You beat the team that was supposed to win the WILA. You beat them 14-13 in NorCal. What was the most common look on their face? I'm gonna put the microphone here out, even though I don't know why.
All right, you ready?
So I'm gonna call that the whimpering whisper. Does that work?
That was what it was. All heads were down. All the heads were down. It was trying to shake their hands and couldn't see their faces. And that was a really good feeling right there, though.
Everybody needs a statement win for a program that is so young. So to do it that early in the season, it's one thing to preach confidence. It's another to acquire it. You acquired confidence by getting a huge win just on the plane ride back. When you're thinking about wins in San Rafael and Belmont and beating Notre Dame, Dana Muir, and beating Dominican, and you're just kind of looking out that window and flying back to Colorado, what kind of thoughts are emerging in your mind?
Oh, geez. Some of the thoughts definitely were, we can definitely take the WILA Cup this year. Obviously, a huge game that's coming up is Mesa State, too. We need to beat them this year, and we're definitely all fighting hard for that one. But also, it was funny when we were flying back because right when we had landed in Denver, the flight attendants were thanking us for being on board. We all got a nice shout-out. It's pretty funny. So, yeah.
You got the captain that's giving a little love to Adams State lacrosse coming back from San Jose or SFO or wherever you were flying out of. And it's one thing to get that shout out just for being a part of the flight, but to win 2 games like that, right. it just solidifies how hard it is to win on the road, but also where the program is becoming with Colorado Mesa having never lost to you and how big of a rival that is becoming. Where does that lay in the long-term plan? If you beat Colorado Mesa, then what is next?
If we beat Colorado Mesa, then what's next? That's like I said, it's just winning the WILA Cup. definitely just beating out everybody in in our conference, and then also stepping it up like we played Lemoyne, and they're definitely top 5 team in the nation right now, and that was a tough loss, but it was good to see what kind of competition and how good D2 lacrosse really is out there. And so obviously we need to step up and get to that level, which we have 2 more years, especially with us going in, and I think we could definitely get to that level.
Anthony, thanks for chatting with us.
No problem. Thank you very much.
It's Anthony Damico, ASC men's lacrosse. We'll have Dominican and Adams State next Thursday right here on KSPK.